Love, light, and blessings. The Shamanic Iwak Priestess here. And I wanted to do another Let's Chat video. I really got nice feedback from the last video that I did, which is talking about the red flags about false and scammers and things like that. And pretty much wanted to talk about the truth about psychic readings and things like that. I did a video one time. It was Mary Faroon's channel, I am a fortune teller hashtag, and I chimed in on that. And yes, I am a psychic. Okay, I predict the future. I make no bones about that. And things like that. I've been talking to a lot of people just within these last over 2 years that I've been on YouTube, even when I was doing the psychic hotline, because I've been reading professionally for 8 years. I've been reading longer than that, but professionally, where I make a living off of it, where I'm dedicated myself full time to it, I've been in the psychic business for 8 years. And I've gotten a lot of people pretty much saying like, oh my God, you're the best reader I ever had. Even when I was on the psychic hotline, like I always got positive reviews. A lot of returning clients, and a lot of them would share their horror stories about people claiming to be psychic, and indeed they were not psychic. They were cold reading them and things like that. So that's one of the reasons why I made that video recently, and this is kind of another layer of it, and things like that. Like I have notes because I'm trying to stay on target. I'm trying not to make this video rambly and long or whatever. I don't want to make this video offensive to anybody, but at the same time, you know, I'm gonna give my honest take on certain things. So even when I went into TarotTube, when I went into YouTube, and I started to advertise my services, and because that's what I made this channel for, to share my perspective, and yes, to communicate with others in the community. But if I'm being honest, this channel is also for clients. This channel is for advertising my services. I've never been dishonest about that from day one. You know, my website is linked to every video and things like that, because, you know, I'm a business person and I feel like I have something to offer. And everybody who's worked with me, has always left feedback, because I don't censor my reviews. Every single person that does a review on my channel, on my services, on my website, are all verified buyers. These are people that actually have purchased. I don't cut and paste things and stuff like that. These are reviews that you would only be able to write about a week after you book my services, because you will get like an automatic email, and then you're able to give an honest review of said services, and they're always posted on the website, and things like that. And the reason being is because I am aware there's a lot of scammers out there. And, you know, if you don't know me, you do want to know the honest feedback of what someone thinks about the service that you provided. You know what I mean? And I find that a lot of people are very shocked, not only at the accuracy, but like the quickness in which I am quickly able to connect with the spirit guides and give these psychic messages, these spiritual messages, and things like that. Someone contacted me personally, and I was going to read the review of my services, because they personally wrote me an email, and he said, no, I want you to use my actual name. Like, I want people to know about you. So I'm going to read his review, and then we're going to get into the topic that we're talking about. So his name is Tyrone Turner, and he has given me permission to literally read his email, so you can see like there's a, well, anyways, you can't see, but I'm trying to, there's no personal information here, but they literally emailed me. I have my email connected to my phone, so when you guys purchase a reading, it's my phone lets me know. So if I don't get back to you right away, it's usually because I'm working or something. So Tyrone Turner wrote me an email and said, peace and blessings to you, my dear sister. Thank you so much for the insightful reading last night. Below is a testimonial, and please do feel free to post in your website. So I explained to them that I can't like automatically post any testimonials to my website. It has to be when they contact you, and then you could leave your feedback, and then like that. Only because that way nobody will ever accuse me of making up my own testimonials. That's why I did it that way. It's kind of just to let you know, hey, like these are real testimonials and things like that. Okay, so he starts. I had a reading with Shamanic Arawak Priestess on Thursday, March 5th, 2020, and I was totally blown away. Not only was the reading very enlightening, but Shamanic Arawak Priestess is an extremely pleasant and down-to-earth. She truly was able to tap into what was going on in my mind and describe certain people and events very accurately. I was totally amazed in a community of wannabes, quotations, and straight-up charlatans. Shamanic Arawak Priestess is like a refreshing, cool breeze. I highly recommend her services and will certainly retain her again. I hope this is helpful. Peace and prosperity be upon you. And then he used my regular name. Kind regards, Tyrone Turner. So I love it. And he wanted me to share that. So I'm sharing. I'm sharing with you, Mr. Tyrone. His beautiful raving review and things of that nature. So I get a lot of messages like this. I read people that literally are skeptics. And they will seek my services and be like, wow, because there's a difference between a psychic reader and an intuitive reader. So let's discuss that. And again, this is not to be like I am the god of all readers or to make anybody feel bad. I'm just sharing this topic that I've had a lot of people wanting me to talk about. Because there's this thing where everybody's like, everybody's psychic and everybody can do this. And you have people that, you know, they'll buy a book and they'll buy a deck of cards and they'll just go and start charging people for readings without having that experience, without knowing if they actually have an ability to psychically connect to someone. Because a lot of people claim to be psychic when they in actuality aren't. And things like that. So this is not a video for those that don't predict the future. You can do whatever you want with that because you're literally not predicting the future. But when you're predicting the future and you're claiming to be psychic, there is a danger to that because if you're giving false information, if you are someone who doesn't have experience or doesn't have these abilities truly, you can really mess somebody's life up with misinformation. And so we have to be careful when we start to label ourselves certain things like, yes, I am a psychic, because there's a great responsibility that goes into that title. It's like, for instance, people in the music industry. We can all sing, but not all of us can sing well. And not all of us can sing where you can call yourself a professional singer, someone who's actually making money off the services that you provide, like singing and entertaining for people, right? Or an actor. Most of us can pretend, but to say I'm an actor is a whole different story because that's also a skill. A beautician goes to beauty school, and just because you go to beauty school and you have the knowledge doesn't mean you're going to be good at doing hair, because that also is a talent. It's a skill. The same thing goes with claiming the title of a psychic. That is actually a skill and an ability. And to further elaborate this point, I went into, excuse me drinking coffee, but it's early in the morning here. I went into the dictionary. So let's define the word intuitive, because you hear a lot of people saying, I'm an intuitive reader. What does that mean? So intuitive means instinct, your gut instinct, that solar plexus chakra, you know, and instincts are based on feelings, okay, without consciously thinking. This is what your gut tells you is the truth. And so all of us have instincts. All of us have intuition. You know, we all have an instinct. Like, for instance, if you're in a relationship and you kind of know somebody's cheating on you, you kind of feel it in your gut. Even if you seek the wisdom of somebody else or a reading, whatever, deep down inside, you kind of know the answer to that. You know what I mean? So we all have gut intuition. That is something you can develop. That is something that you can work with your intuition alongside tarot and provide an academic knowledge and an academic reading and things of that nature. And that's perfectly fine, because there's a lot of people that do tarot readings that will tell you, I'm not psychic, I'm an intuitive, and so therefore I don't predict the future. I use tarot more as a counseling and things like that. And there is a market for that, and there's a lot of validity to that. That's a real thing. And I have a lot of respect for people that read tarot instinctively and use it for healing purposes and things of that nature. There's nothing wrong with that. That is perfectly fine. Then you have psychics. What is psychic? So psychic is being a psychic, actually being able to see into the future, isn't something that everybody can do. And this is why you have a lot of people that go to psychics and their predictions don't come through. They tend to mess up people's life by giving them false advice and things. So that's why we have to be careful when it comes to predicting. Are you truly someone who's psychic? Are you someone who truly can see into the future? And are you someone that can, even if you're naturally psychic, can you interpret the messages in an accurate way? Have you honed on the psychic ability that you have naturally in a way that you can interpret in an accurate way the information that the spirits and the guides are relating to you? So psychic, definition, ESP. It is the ability to identify information that is hidden from your normal sensories, your senses. Okay. Involving telepathy. So I have the ability to channel and read the thoughts of others. That is a psychic ability. I am clairvoyant. So I've said it many times in my videos. This is why cartomancy speaks to me, because it's not illustrated. And I can read with tools and I can read without tools. I choose tools because, again, when I'm just completely reading without tools, it requires more time. And since I do time sessions, I find that using cards to kind of open me up immediately tends to save time. But the reason why people are like, oh my gosh, she's so accurate, is because people that actually have academic knowledge of tarot or whatever form of divination I'm using can understand and see that the messages I'm getting goes beyond the academic, goes beyond the intuition, and I actually is going into that veil, that wall, that spirit, into the psychic world, the other realm. And there's things that cards would not tell you. There's things that I know that the cards will not tell you, that has nothing that you will not find in a book, because this is purely psychic, right? So I have telepathy, reading the thoughts and channeling others, clairvoyance, and also performing acts that are apparently inexplicable by natural law. I've actually helped people find people that are missing. There's been times there's spirits that have come through me with visions and things that, again, you cannot find in the cards, because I can perform mediumship. That is a skill that I have that's unexplainable by science. Even the magic or the root work that I perform, there's no scientific explanation of how I could manifest that, right? Because that's also an ability. Manifesting and creating and bending the will and creating certain outcomes is also a skill. And so when we start to say things like everybody is a witch and everybody's a psychic, everybody can practice witchcraft, but not everybody's able to manifest certain things. That is a skill that you can work on. Of course, just like you can work on your intuition too. But psychic ability is different. It is something that's naturally born in certain people that kind of have that deep connection with the other side, that have, like, they're tuned in, and things like that. So, yeah. And it's not to say like I'm demeaning somebody else, because I'm not, but too many people call themselves certain things and don't really understand the meaning of what that is. And there's a danger in, even if you have good intentions and actually causing harm to people if you don't know what you're doing. If you're claiming to do root work and you really don't know how to do it, and you're incorrectly doing a ritual that's supposed to manipulate something, you could be messing up somebody's relationship. You could be messing up somebody's life. So this is why it's important to, when we're saying that we have certain skills, that we should make sure that we actually have them, that there's practice, that there's experience, that you actually have the knowledge and the skills to back these, these claims up and everything like that. So, which touches on my first point. Everybody has intuition, but not everybody is psychic. Not everybody can accurately predict the future and things like that. And that's okay, because again, there's a reader for everybody. There's a spiritual worker for everybody. Two, one of the things too, and this is another truth about psychic readings, I find a lot of people criticize clients. So I'll watch videos, because this person, I don't do readings on like if he or she wants to get back with this person. Like I'll tell them like he's a loser or she's a loser or they're a loser, and things like that. And one of the things that I do with my clients, it doesn't matter what they're asking about. Okay. My morals lies with my clients. So because I can channel the thoughts of others, I don't care that they're asking me about a third party. Like I will read about them, because at the end of the day, my loyalty is to the person who paid me for the reading. My loyalty is the one that's seeking out the services, if that makes sense. So I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with them wanting to know if an ex is going to come back. I don't have a problem with them being in certain situations that society seeks unmoral or immoral or whatever the case may be. That doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, my job is not to be judgmental to you. These are people that are seeking help. And because I've been in so many different types of situations in my life, I have a lot of people say like, you're so non-judgmental. Yes, because you're not paying me to judge you. What you're paying me to do is to look at the immediate situation, look at the past, and see what the future outcome is, and to help you either, if you don't like what the outcome is, to create an outcome that's more pleasing to you, or if it's something is like set in stone and there's no way to really change certain things, how to kind of know that's going to happen, but then you're better equipped to deal with certain things, because you kind of already know what's going to happen. There's things that the spirits can reveal to you that are preventable. Like how many times I've done readings and something about a client's health comes through, and then I'm like, you need to go see a doctor because this and this is wrong with you, and they'll get and immediately be diagnosed with something that, because they caught it on early, they can get treatment for it. That's happened to me with cancer and everything. So you really will be surprised what the spirits reveal. There's been clients that have put their children in danger that I'm like, oh, that person who's watching your child, no. And then they'll be like, oh my God, that's true. Thank goodness you actually prevented my child from getting hurt from said person. Or if someone's in a dangerous relationship, well, I'm like, this person's kind of dangerous or whatever. And they found out, like somebody found out a couple of years ago, oh yeah, the guy that I was talking to, you're right, he has a criminal record that I didn't know about, that domestic violence. I could have gone into a relationship with this person and ended up being a battered woman, and things like that. So, there's so many instances of that, because again, my place is not to judge you. My place is to give you a reading about your specific situation and to help you attain the future that you do want. And the things that are set in stone that we can't change, to kind of learn to deal with these things, because you can always control how you react to certain situations. I've had readings where I've helped people to work through traumas, help people to know what spirits walk with them, and things like that, what kind of ancestral healing they may need for their family line. So again, my job is not to judge you for why you're seeking the reading. What is your status of your relationship? What is your lifestyle? None of that. That is not my job. My job is to provide spiritual clarity, to provide help through my abilities, and to pretty much help you with whatever guidance you're seeking for whatever topic you're seeking it on. Another thing that a lot of people like is So when I'm doing a reading, I make sure that I'm already connected to you or connected with spirit before I even read you. So I'm not trying to connect while we're reading, and then that wastes, time. I don't also do elaborate spreads, or put the cards, where the backs are facing me. I don't do that. Like like my cards, when I pull them out, they're facing up, because I don't do like fancy spreads, because I tend to see like they are time consuming, and I have a certain way that I read the cards and I lay them out that helps me to provide very quick answers. With the gentleman that gave me the review, he booked a 40-minute session and he was shocked at how much information he got. I've had people that have booked 10 minutes and are shocked how much I got in 10 minutes or 20 minutes. Or so when you book a reading with me, time is money. I'm going to give you that information quickly. And this is why I don't do elaborate spreads, because it's a time session. I love doing live readings. I'm not an email person. That is not what I like to do. I like to have that immediate reading done at that time. I try to do your reading as soon as you book it, as soon as possible. So that, I send you my schedule and we book according to my availability, and yours as well. Again, I don't judge your questions. You know what I mean? I don't have a problem with, channeling others. I don't have a problem with predicting the future. But I always tell people, if you don't like what you see, know that you hold the power in your hands. You can change this. There are things that are changeable. Just because I'm predicting the future doesn't mean that, okay, well, that's going to happen. So what? No, you have the power to change. There are certain things that are destined that we can't. And there are things that, because the spirit is telling you this is what that possible outcome is, you can do things, and we can work together where we can prevent that from happening. Another service that I provide as well is, I do spells for other people. I, help people to get the things that they want. I don't mind manipulating energies. I work both in light and shadow. So I don't believe in the you can't do things for free will and karma, and when it comes to spell work and all these threefolds, and none of that stuff applies to me. Like, I have my own moral compass. Yes, there's certain things I won't do, but there's a lot of things I do. And I do pre-consultation readings for people that are looking for that said service, so I can explain things there. We can talk about pricing, we can talk about what we're going to do and things like that. And then, I do keep you updated on your things. And again, like I said, I make sure that I'm immediately connected when you guys book a reading with me and we have our session. And I try to make sure that I'm receiving and retrieving that information in a quickly manner, which brings me to my other point. Again, I try not to come from a place of judgment. This is not what my job is. Nobody wants to feel judged when they're paying good money and having someone kind of judge them. And that's why delivery of the information is important too. I try to be very loving when I'm delivering things, and things like that, and give you that information, and you do what you want with that information, because again, the power lies with that person. But I've had people like, yeah, I read with this person, they were mean to me, they made me cry, they were judging my relationship, they were judging my marriage, they were judging my lifestyle, they were judging this, that, and the other. And that's hurtful. Like, that's not why somebody's paying you for it, to sit there and sit on your throne and be like, yes, because you're just a horrible person. Horrible. How could you do that? Like, nobody wants to listen to that. So, but I always tell the truth. I'm always going to be honest with you. But I'm always going to try to deliver the honesty with love. I believe that tarot is balanced. So I do give you negative answers if they're negative. If you're going to ask me if somebody's being faithful, I'm going to tell you the truth if they are or they aren't, and things like that. But it's not about the information. What I find is how you deliver that information. I've had people say how cruelly readers have revealed said information that literally were so mean. Like, well, you knew he was a dog when you met him, so you're stupid for even being with him. Really? Wow, that's rude. You know what I mean? So I'm not paying you to mentally abuse me and belittle me in a very trying situation, because people are booking you. They're trusting you. They're looking for your guidance, and you should not be talking to people like that, So I always try to make sure that the messages that I get, are delivered with love. I also, have developed self-care. Like I was saying, yesterday, I went and got a massage. After I finished work, I got a manicure. I went and ran errands. And I just took some time away from my kids to spend some time by myself. And then I went and took them out to dinner, and I felt better because, attending to my family, attending to my clients, making videos on YouTube, all those things are time consuming. And it requires you giving a part of yourself. And what I'm learning and what I continue to learn is just as important as it is to make quality videos, to answer comments, to answer emails, to book readings, to help people in their spiritual journey, to help people with their inquiring questions, to be the best mom I could be, the best parent I could be, to have healthy relationship with my ex-husbands so we could co-parent together and all those wonderful things. I cannot forget myself. So in the same way that I care for my children, my clients, and my loved ones, my significant other, I have to care about myself. I have to love myself. I have to pamper myself. And just like I spend money on other people, why was I debating yesterday about the price of my massage when I wanted a longer one? That's okay to do that, because at the end of the day, if I feel good about myself, if I'm in good health, if I'm taking good care of myself, then I could provide even better services for my clients and be a better parent to my children. So it's okay to want that one-on-one time, with myself. So those are the boundaries. So my days off or my day off, I'm not going to answer you. I might not be able to answer your text or your email, and that's okay, because if I'm too available all the time and don't take time out for myself, I'm going to burn myself out, and then I can't help anybody. And then I'm going to go into a depression. So it's important to take care of our mental health and just a person, and to love ourselves and to take time out. Like, that's okay. It makes me a better mother, and it makes me a better psychic and healer, and root worker. So like I was saying, on my website, only verified purchasers are allowed to post testimonials. So I don't censor them. So those are honest testimonials on my website from people that have actually booked my services, and they're verified. I study tarot every single day for myself and academically, because even though I have psychic ability, I want to give you the most accurate readings. I want to be the best reader that I can be. And I'm never going to say like I'm a master and I know everything. I'm always learning something new. And so one thing that I pledged when I became a professional reader especially, is to always study tarot, because I always want to get better and better. I want to give you guys the best of the best. I want to give you what you are paying for in the most ethical and honorable way, because I do value every single person that's ever booked a reading with me, because there's a lot to choose from, right? And I dedicate my life to this. Most of my subscribers, so I do have some people that create tarot videos or that are part of the witchy community that are subscribers, but for the most part, most of my subscribers are people that don't make videos, and people that eventually end up seeking my services. So a lot of clients are my subscribers as well, and things like that. And I accepted that. I'm not a very, with the few exceptions of the tarot content creators and some of the witchy content creators, I'm not popular on TarotTube or the witchy community as far as creators go, as far as people who make videos. And I kind of accepted that when I made that tarot community clicks and friendship video. I came to the realization that I don't need to fit in anywhere. Like, as long as my subscribers like what I'm posting and people can resonate and relate to it, and the few tarot tubers and witchy community creators, content creators that do follow my channel, that are very supportive of me, as long as they like it. So as long as my subscribers like what I'm doing, I don't have to be popular on YouTube, because again, the majority of my subscribers are people that don't create content. And that's why I notice like I don't get as much commentary as other people that get a lot of commentary from other tarot, from YouTube creators and things like that. And I've learned to accept that too. I get a lot of personal emails and things sometimes from my videos, but I've learned to accept what my place is in the spiritual community, and I'm okay with that because, like I said, when I made this channel, I wanted to branch out outside of the psychic hotline and reach people that actually want the services that I have to offer. And that's exactly what's happened. And other like-minded people. And that's another thing that's happened. So I kind of learned to accept my place in YouTube. And other than my children, you guys are the most important thing. It's why, like, I'm a happily single woman. I've tried dating because, like, oh, you should date and all that. It's not my cup of tea. Like, I've been married and I loved being married, and, you know, that had a time and a place and things like that. But for the business that I'm in, the traveling that I do, and the amount of time that my work takes, I am very comfortable being a mother and married to my job because, to be honest, spirituality is where my passion is. Creating and altering things where husbands are coming back, and I'm healing marriages, and I'm healing relationships, and my predictions are coming through true, and I'm connecting to people from all over the world, and I'm helping people with my services. Other than my children, it is my second love. And I'm in a good place where I'm at. Like, I've chosen to be single at this time because my business is where my heart is, and I'm in a good place where it's at, and I want to continue to expand it. And I feel like me being in a relationship at this time will be a distraction to me because I'm not someone who likes to text people, and when you're dating, people want to text you all the time. I'm not really into that. Like, not to knock anybody who's in a relationship, but I don't have the time to dedicate to an outside person. Like, I casually date and that kind of stuff, but like to be in a serious relationship, it's not where my passion is at this time. I love reading about it. I love helping people with their relationship. But I think that some people are created to have relationships and to be married, and that's something that's really important to them. And I'm going to be honest, I like being single. I like not having a partner in my life. Like, you know what I mean? So when people are like, oh, I'm so sad about your divorce, I'm really not. Like, I love being single. Like, I realized that at 40 years old, I love being single. Like, I love doing what I want to do and spending the money that I spend and disappearing when I disappear, and like, and traveling, and if I have to get a plane on tomorrow, I can do that, and all that kind of stuff. I mean, it doesn't mean that I'll never, you know, live with somebody or whatever, but at this time in my 40s, I love being single. I love what I'm doing with my life. I love my psychic business, my spiritual business. My children are all growing up. Like, I'm just living life. Like, that's what I'm doing, and I'm in a good place, you know. So, but I respect marriage because I help a lot of people in relationships. I have a lot of advice that works, you know what I mean? So, and they're like, yes, you're really good at relationship advice, because that's, you know, my sociology degree, you know, my social work skills come in. But I like to casually date. And I'm someone who likes to have open relationships. Like, that's just me. Like, I like to be my own agent and things like that. So maybe someday I will find somebody who's into being a free agent too. I kind of just like to do my own thing, you know. So I like the unconventional stuff. That's just me. Okay. So before I did readings professionally, like, I waited to have the experience that I needed before I started taking other people's money. You know what I mean? I feel like somebody will buy a deck of cards and they'll be like, okay, I'm a reader now, and I read like a book and and this and that. But, you know, I waited to build my skills, to read a lot of people free and practice on myself. And when I felt confident, that's when I branched out and I did the psychic hotline, and then eventually I did YouTube. And it was a calling, because like from the first day I went on the hotline, like the first client booked me, and then it just went from there. Like people were very surprised, like how popular I was when I would log on the psychic hotline. I was busy for all the hours. I had back to back, back to back, back to. There was people that waited days to read with me because I will only be there for a set amount of hours and things like that on the site. You know what I mean? So, and and just even on YouTube, when I talk to people outside of YouTube, they're like, "Oh, you actually have like a sustainable business and stuff," because they're like, "Oh, I'm struggling for that or whatever." It's been successful for me even when I started doing videos and branching out and getting clients from the YouTube community and that kind of thing as well. I've been very blessed with that, but I don't like when people say like, "Oh, you've been lucky," because I don't feel like it's luck. I've put a lot of work into what I've done. I'm not saying other people haven't, and I have a very strong relationship with my spirits, and I think it's because I also embrace that I'm psychic. Like, I've never tried to sugarcoat that, and I think that's why as well. And because I took a while before I went professional, I knew what I wanted. I set out those plans, and when spirit called me to dedicate myself to this path, I used the magic, the power, the voodoo that I do to create this, to build these relationships with the spirits, to make sure that my skills and my life experience was there. So when I provided said services, it was something that the clients were happy with, because my thing is, it's all about customer service. It's all about the returning client. It's all about providing the services that the client's looking for and not judging that. I feel like a lot of people judge like, "Oh, I don't like the kind of readings that I have to do on a psychic column." None of those readings ever bothered me, because honestly, when I've read, I like reading about things like that. I want to know if the ex is going to come back. I want to know what the ex is thinking about me. Is the ex dating? You know what I mean? Is my husband cheating? What are my kids up to? Like, I like those kind of readings. So I think because I like those kind of readings, people asking me these questions, it doesn't bother me. Like, you're paying for the reading. You should be able to ask what you want to ask, So I also never had a problem with reading reversals. I don't know what reversible backs mean. Never understood that. Maybe it's because I pull cards upright, so the backs of the cards don't matter to me. Maybe that's why. I just thought about that. But because I don't lay them out and then flip them over. I don't do that. Let's get on with it. So I read reversals and things like that. And I'm someone who, walks both in light and shadow. Like, none of this stuff bothers me. Like, so I would like to hear your thoughts on the comment section below about any of this. Feel free to like, subscribe. If you want to work with me on a one-on-one basis, shamanic@priestess.com. And yeah, I think that's it for this very long rambly video. I'm going to be back next weekend with another video, because I think I am gonna continue to post. I think I'm gonna start posting on the weekends again when I actually have time to post. And I have to do housework, and I have some spell work I'm going to be doing later on today for clients and rituals and all these things. So I'm going to go and do that. So I'm going to clean the house spiritually and my person and all these things. I have work stuff to do today. So much love, much light, much blessings, and cannot wait. My second March Hoodoo course starts. Oh my God, in 2 weeks. So I'm like excited. Look out for the reading material next week. And then we're going to start booking the lectures and everything. So I'm like really excited, guys. So much love, much light, much blessings. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. And until the next video, bye.